Hello, and welcome to the Supporting Adults with a Learning Disability to Have Better Lives framework. The Supporting Adults with a Learning Disability to Have Better Lives framework helps councils when working on an action plan that will support services for people with a learning disability to be the best they can be. It covers services for people with a learning disability who may also be autistic, including young people preparing for adult life. This framework does not cover autistic people without a learning disability.
The purpose of the framework and how to use it.
This framework has been made because people with a learning disability may not get the best services. They may have more health problems, local services that do not fit their needs, often no job and not enough money. Because of this, they may have a poorer quality of life. The Supporting Adults with a Learning Disability to Have Better Lives framework helps adults with a learning disability and their family carers to live a safe, valued and happy life.
The vision of the framework is inclusion, equal access, person-centred planning, safeguarding, sustainable models of support and progression. The framework is split into 3 steps. It is important that people with learning disabilities and their families and carers are fully involved in each step and that plans are co-produced to make their services better. These plans should include reasonable adjustments and make sure services are inclusive for all. The first step is a quick self-evaluation of 6 different areas. These are called domains and are areas of work that the council might need to improve to make people's lives better. This is what each council completes first and will help councils to check whether they are getting it right. When they have completed the quick self-evaluation, the council will know which areas they need to look at more closely. This is the second step.
The first area is about councils providing good leadership and making sure that services are run well. This is important because it helps to make the service and people who use the service feel supported and valued.
The second and third areas are about young people preparing for adulthood and are also about looking at how many people need services both now and in the future. These areas are about making sure people with a learning disability / difficulty can have a good quality of life.
Anthony was always very clear about what he wanted in his life. He very much wanted to spend time with his friends. There was always a concern for him when he left school that he'd lose his friendships. Looking at him now, Anthony has what I would say a very independent and very inclusive life. He travels, he's travelled in this country, he's travelled abroad, and he does that with the support of his shared lives carer. They plan the things that they're going to do together and enjoy life together. It's so important because it's preparing for life, isn't it really, and having opportunities. Historically, people would leave school and go into traditional services and day services. In Anthony's case, it was very much focused on helping Anthony explore what he wanted to do in his life.
The fourth area is to make sure staff are well supported and trained to be the best they can be and be able to support adults with a learning disability in a person-centred way.
It's so important that people know their roles. They can help with the various different issues. People come through the door with different issues, and if your staff is not trained, they won't be able to help accommodate the individuals. With the training, they're more active, they are more positive in their role, and it supports people that will come to your door. They know they can trust the person has a knowledge and understanding of the issues, what they're dealing with.
The fifth area is about helping people with a learning disability to stay safe. There is a responsibility to make sure that people stay as safe as possible but are still able to live the lives they want. It is important for local services to work together to find people who are at risk and to take steps to protect them. This is sometimes called safeguarding. The sixth area is about making sure that services work well meet people's needs, and are good value for money. The best councils co-produce new ways to make the lives of adults with a learning disability better by working with lots of different people and organisations to help come up with the best ideas that really work.
We commissioners need to make sure that people can and have opportunities to live ordinary lives. So we hear from people with learning disabilities that they want to have their front door, they have to have their own homes, they want to have opportunities for their relationships and friendships, and we need to make sure that we provide those opportunities for them. So the services that we develop and deliver need to provide value for money to ensure that they can be there for as long as they are needed for that individual. Value for money does not mean that it's the cheapest option available. Value for money means that we develop a wide range of services available for people to choose. We do want to encourage people to use their direct payments to buy services themselves. When we support people to do that, they choose services that we may not necessarily have thought of. The services for people with learning disabilities need to be co-produced to make sure that we develop something that they want, not what we think they want. Because who knows best if not the person with learning disabilities or their parents' carers?
Planning to make services better should be co-produced with people with a learning disability, stroke, difficulty and their family together, with the people who support them. At all times, we should consider reasonable adjustments that help stop inequality.
The third step of the framework are resources to tell councils what works well and how to make services the best they can be.
Having the council through my personal life, I've learnt and been supported by set people within the council. And when those set people are there, for instance, your housing champions or somebody set in the council who understands learning disability or autism, it works really well. And it's all really to support me. The reasonable adjustments for my car, for instance, I drive an automatic car with a 9-way steering ball, left swapped over pedals. I use through work a program called Dragon Software, which is where I speak into the computer and I do all my kind of fast talking and it just types it down for me. I don't have to touch the keyboard whatsoever. I believe councils should work closely with people with learning disabilities, also to learn and grow their service, their company for the better. When I was talking to the council and set people in the council, it worked good because they were feeding me things, I was feeding them things, and we could understand and work things forward that way.
The Supporting Adults with a Learning Disability to Have Better Lives framework is all about people's rights to a good life. These rights are fairness, respect, equality, dignity and independence. These rights encourage the best person-centred services for each person now and in the future.
The council need to make services person-centred. I did my first person-centred planning 15 years ago. It changed my life because at the beginning I didn't want to see my kids and I didn't have a job, and also I want never been abroad, never been on a plane, and also my reading and my writing weren't right good. But with me doing person-centred planning now, it has really changed because I'm seeing my mum and my kids now. Now I'm going on more holidays. I've got a paid job. Person-centred planning, it does work because it's worked for me.
These rights also help support people to develop skills from a young age to help people to have the best possible life.
They also support the need for good quality, accessible information, making sure that advice is available to everyone. This should be available in a variety of ways, including easy read, so that everyone can find out what they need to know about local services.
Councils need to have a good understanding of what support adults with a learning disability need, now and in the future. The Supporting Adults with a Learning Disability to Have Better Lives framework can help to do this.
It's a good idea to find out if your local council is doing a self-evaluation, and if they are, ask to get involved.